What's up, and welcome back everybody to another episode of DJ's TNT Tech and Toys. And today I got something that I think is really useful for a lot of people, especially who are making videos or just want to make some content that's nice and smooth. A lot of people might be missing out with their action camera is a gimbal or a gyroscopic motor driven piece of equipment used to stabilize the video footage on your camera. Today I got the GoPro Hero 6 Black hooked up to this beautiful iSteady Pro by Hohem. I hope I'm saying that right, Hohem. And this is the iSteady Pro. Now it's a very simple operation for this thing. Just hit the red button, turns right on. I just point out whatever I want. You always want to consider the price, durability, how good it's going to be, if there's any record of people having it in the past. And I've done a lot of research and I've looked around, and it's like the ones that are like super cheap were really poor quality, and then the other ones that are way really good are just way more than I wanted to spend for a gimbal. I didn't want to have to spend a whole bunch of money for a gimbal. So something that's really good that I found out about is the Hohem iSteady Pro. I like this gimbal. It's available on Amazon and eBay. You can find it for prices ranging from $75, $85, depending if you want it with free shipping or not, or depending if the other person's trying to make a good amount of money. But it can go up to like $100 or something. But there's a lot of other cheaper ones that are online, like about $50. You want to stay away from those brands. It's a different brand. I don't want to bring attention to their brand and then somebody coming after me. But this one I think is actually really good. It's got a lot of good reviews online, and I love gimbals. It's just something about them. Like, it just stays level no matter what you do. You going over here, going over here, over there, over here, just back and forth so fast, and it just keeps the camera nice and steady for you. You don't gotta worry about nothing. I took it to the park and got it all together, started running the footage, and something I noticed, like when I was comparing the footage with gimbal versus no gimbal, is you get that almost professional smoothness. And the smoother you walk, the smoother the footage will be. So for example, I took the camera out and I started running with it. I started running with the camera and with the gimbal hooked up on there, and I noticed that it's pretty smooth for considering how much moving I'm doing. Because when you're running, you don't have to worry about your movement like this throwing off your camera angle. So you can see if this camera was completely still, as I'm moving, your picture would shift with whatever slight movements I'm doing with my wrist. So when I was doing the footage without the gimbal, you notice that the camera would do a lot of shifting up and down and left and right and tilting. It was really shaky, versus with this, you might see you'll see your speed movement, or you may see it up and down, but overall it's going to stay horizontal and smooth. It's not going to have a lot of those imperfections that come with having unstabilized footage. Now, I don't want to throw complete shade onto the GoPro camera, because I'm using a pretty good camera, versus if you have a camera that doesn't have necessarily the best background, or it doesn't come with a stock digital stabilization on it, then your footage is probably going to slack. It's probably going to be lacking in other areas, versus where if you had a gimbal, or if you had like the new GoPro Hero 7 Black, then your footage will be a lot smoother. But that's the benefit of one of these things. And the reason why I like this one is because it's good quality, and so far I haven't had any problems with it. It's been very usable for me, right? Something you don't have to worry about when it comes to using a gimbal versus no gimbal. You don't have to worry about constantly resetting your camera. You twist your hand the direction you want it to go, it goes that direction. The other way, it goes the other way also. And not to mention, there's even a little switch here that allows you to control the pitch and angle of the camera. So I could be looking up, and then let's say if I want to go to the left, go to the left immediately, or vice versa. You can see the rate and how fast it's going as it turns around. It's got a pretty good range. You can at least turn it around to see yourself, and then keep going a little bit more. So I'd say that's almost a full 360 right there. Wow, yeah. I just love that. You just go up, down, left, right, turn around, and it keeps that same angle the whole time. If you turn it off, it goes right back dead. But something I did notice using the GoPro camera specifically, if you mount it with the camera lens on the other side of the mount right here, you'll notice that the camera will stay a little more balanced. See how like I turn it off and it kind of just drops to the side? You turn it back on, it levels back out. Granted, it can do that and the motor's strong enough, but it balances naturally if it's on the other side, if the camera lens is on the other side of the mount right here. So it's up to you. Things to keep in mind. I usually try to put it on the other side, but I just want to show it the way that the picture shows it going, so that's the way I got to put on there, just for demonstration purposes. If you go up, around, and get it all topsy-turn looking, and you need it back centered, you just push up on here, and it'll reset it. It reorientates it back to 0. So that means 0 degrees of pitch up or down this way, and 0 degrees of change or turn going to the left or right. You know, so you don't got to worry about not being able to get back to where you started. There's a few other modes on here that it can do. I don't really think they're necessary, as long as, like, for me personally, as long as I can control the pitch of where it is, where it goes and everything, and then I want to reset it back to 0, I can always do that. Off and on is very simple. There's not too many complex pieces to this, but there are a few cool extras that this thing has that I do like about it. If you look here on the side, there's a little port there. If you have a charger, if your camera has a charging port that is connectable with this input, you can use that input there. But I just use the same one that comes with my camera. So it charges with a standard USB, and it has like one of those standard very super universal plugins that almost on every old Android phone has, or even like for this, my portable battery charger. A lot of, like, I have a calculator for school, and like there's so many things that use the same charger plug. It's just a straight standard plug. You probably got like 30 of them in your house, so you don't even need. And it's got a USB right here also that you can use and plug it up to your camera. It's a little hard with the camera, at least for a GoPro, mounted this way. So that's another benefit of having it mounted upside down, because with the GoPro, if you put it upside down, the picture will still correct itself and shift it right side up anyway for you. So it doesn't matter if it's upside down, right side up, and you'll be able to expose that power cord right here, putting it on the other side for you, so you can actually use it, you know. But another thing, this thing can actually hook up through Bluetooth to your phone. There's a Hohem app that you can download that comes with it. I didn't download it. I don't need the app. I don't care about having an app for it, but there is an app. You just scan the QR code and you download the app, and you can get a couple of preset settings on here, and just you can switch between the settings on there for yourself and just have a little more fun and versatility with the gimbal. A few more things that I thought was pretty trendy for this stabilizer was that it comes with a mount here on the side, so you literally could strap it onto a tripod or something. You can get it mounted sideways. You probably could have your camera sitting like this and have it sitting on an additional mount, making it easier for you to carry for whatever kind of situation you're going through, for whatever kind of camera angles you might be trying to gather. And also, something that maybe go unnoticed is there's another one right here in the bottom. So as well, if you have a tripod but you want to use this thing standing up, and you don't want to have to worry about leveling your video picture, because tripods, they got the legs that each one is like adjustable, and there's like 2 points with a bubble, and you can level it and everything. If you don't want to deal with that, just get it however you can get it on there, put your gimbal on there, and your video will be completely level. So that's another cool thing I like about it. But I'm going to go to the box and show you the box that it comes in, and show you the case and all the things that come with it, so we can get a little bit of a better understanding of what we're dealing with here. So first off, this is the box that it comes in. As you can see, they show off using the most popular action camera in the world, the GoPro Hero series of GoPro cameras, action cameras. And I think this gimbal is basically built around the design and shape of the GoPro, you know, because it fits in there perfectly. I think it was designed around GoPro users. So if you have an off-brand camera, there's a chance that it might not work for it because it's mostly designed to fit with the GoPro, you know. But I don't see why you couldn't use another camera. I mean, it's just as long as it's not taller than the height of the GoPro, because it has to be able to fit within that little slot. But so if you rotate around, there's a couple of QR codes, one for YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. They even for the app right there, and it says right here, action camera not included. So yeah, quit asking. I hope I'm saying this right. Is that the way you say that name? Hohem, Hohem, Hohem. I don't know how to say this thing. I just hope I'm saying it right. 3-axis handheld stabilization gimbal for action cameras. So that means if you have a GoPro or an off-brand action camera, as long as you check the height of it, make sure it's not too much bigger than a GoPro, it should be able to fit in there. I'm thinking no problem. It even says it right there. It says compatible with the GoPro Hero series and various other cameras. Personalization of the gimbal through use of the app that they have right here I told you about, and virtual joystick and calibration, etc. in the app, all kinds of other things in there. And I think I might actually, after rereading that, I might have to actually download the app, because virtual joystick means that I can have this thing mounted up sitting somewhere and then control the joystick portion of it, you know, controlling the direction of the camera through my phone. Now, that sounds pretty dope. I mean, I didn't even think about it like that. I mean, that app might be a little more useful than I thought it was, so I'm gonna have to download that thing and see how it works. Let's take a look at the case that's inside the box that this sits in. It's so nice. As I look at it, it almost looks like a sniper rifle case or something like that. When I first pulled the box, or the case, out of the box, I was surprised actually, because it's got this nice soft to touch yet firm for storing and portability. The case also, when you turn on the back, you can see all the little compartments. It's almost like it's meant to keep everything still, and so it's not jumbling and moving around. You know, it's like kind of hence the name stabilization. Even your parts inside the case are stabilized during transport. But I'm gonna open it up real quick. That's everything that comes inside of it. I mean, you got the gimbal. I mean, it's all you really need anyway. It comes with a tripod. Go figure, you put the tripod underneath the gimbal stabilization, and now you got your own tripod. You don't even got to carry a tripod with you in case you want to set it down. Of course, a charging cord and the gimbal itself. Now, when I take this part, put it on the bottom, just screw it on there real quick. And it's got these 3 legs, so you can set the gimbal down, literally, turn it on, don't turn it on without a camera on it. It's still stable. Almost fell over. The camera still, still got you. It's one thing to see that the camera can move around with the joystick and everything. You can see that I push it up and recenter it, and it's one thing to see it from that angle, but let's see what it's like from this angle, using the joystick and using the full extent of it, and see what it looks like doing all the movement around, jib jabber, up, down, left, right, full extension. See how far it can go. still level. You can literally see it. You can see the angle, and you can also see how the camera is still just stable, because these little legs are like flexible. They have nice little rubber feet on the bottom of them. So I guess it's meant for like different terrain and putting on weird little oblong shapes and objects. To sum this whole thing up, in my opinion, the Hohem, I hope I'm saying that right, Hohem, this is a good bang for your buck. It's not the best gimbal out there, but it's not the crappy gimbal either. It's not the one that's online for $50. It's a little bit more, but it's not $200 more. You can get this thing roughly for under $100, and if you really search and try to find a good deal, you can get it even cheaper than that. You probably can get it for $75 if you search around for it. But it's a good quality piece of product. Thing I like about it is has good battery life. I've only had to charge it fully one time, and after that I use it for whatever amount of time I need it for, and there's still plenty of battery life. I could leave it off for a couple weeks, turn it back on, and it's still pretty much full of charge, so the battery doesn't just drain out of it. I like how it has that good turn rate, so when I turn the camera, I turn my handpiece, the camera turns. I turn the other way, the camera turns the other way. The joystick's very responsive. You point up, point down, left, right. It comes with apps. It comes with multiple mounting points, and it can also be a charger, a portable charger for your other devices. It can be whatever you want it to be, is whatever your imagination is going to limit you to. So you can do a lot of things with it. Now, granted, everyone doesn't need stabilizers, and there's a lot of cameras coming out that have stabilizers built into them, but a lot of these cameras are starting at about $400, $500, some of them even more, But for the action camera world, you can take something like a GoPro Hero 5 or 6, throw a gimbal on there, save yourself a few $100 and still have good quality footage. You could run around, jump around, and make it looks like totally different footage. You put that gimbal on there, your footage game is gonna change tenfold. Let me know in the comments below if I should keep using the gimbal for all my videos, because I like the way it looks with the gimbal. It's just sometimes I'm a little lazy and I don't want to have to carry it around, but I don't know why. It's such a nice little slim package. I mean, the battery charge lasts all day. Like the battery on this thing will outlast my batteries that I have on my GoPro, because I have like 5 batteries. No, I got 4 batteries for my GoPros. I have 2 GoPros and I got 4 batteries, and this gimbal will outlast the batteries on those GoPros. It's got a large battery in there. Let's see. Enough said. I mean, I think the footage speaks for itself. I mean, it's got 3-axis, Bluetooth capability, an app, plenty of mounting spots for it, charging. I say it's a good bang for your buck, under $100. The Hohem iSteady Pro. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. Remember, this is DJ's TNT. That's Tech in Toys. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, check out my other videos. I'm gonna be making more videos coming up soon. If you got any suggestions for any video topics, please leave a comment and let me know. Thanks for watching. Peace. Health, love, and peace, everybody.